In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how to have sustainable fat loss, actually lose the body fat and keep it off instead of doing this yo-yo dieting. Everyone just tries to lose body fat way too quickly, and what really happens is you lose the body fat and you gain it all back within 3 to 6 months or even a year at max. The problem is we go way too aggressive in the caloric deficit. We lose the body fat too quickly. It's unsustainable. Our cravings are too high. We can only manage it for that short period of time. When we get to that event, we get to that vacation, and it's over, and we're like, oh, we can finally eat. And you just eat everything all the time, and you're going to gain it all back. And there's no reason to go ahead and be so aggressive and think so short term when it comes to our fat loss. So I want to show you my fat loss over the last 9 months. 9 months. Very slow, gradual, and I did have some diet breaks in there where I did kind of eat more food, but it was a 9-month commitment. I started losing body fat in the middle of December, and I weighed 192 pounds. I was consuming around 2,800 calories a day, and I was doing minimal cardio. I just started reintroducing cardio very slowly. That was like at the peak of my bulk. I'll be throwing pictures and videos over top of this so you can see exactly how I was looking and how I've been progressing. Within 1 month, my average weigh-in drops down to 186 from 192. That seems like a massive drop, but it's so easy to lose body fat off the start, especially when you come from eating a caloric surplus for a prolonged period of time, like I did. And then you'll see it drops off very quickly. The next month, from January to February, I only went from 186 pounds on average to 184. Main reason being because I was just so relaxed with my nutrition. I had no rush. I knew I had so much time to lose body fat that I didn't treat it as a diet. I literally ate whatever I wanted. If things came up, then I would just eat and enjoy life. It did not feel like a diet whatsoever. I didn't even feel like I was losing body fat. I just felt like I was adding in some cardio and eating the foods I was already eating. I felt like I was doing the exact same thing. This did not feel like a diet whatsoever. Then you'll see the next month, by March, the average weigh-in was 183 pounds. So again, I only went down 1 pound on average in an entire month. You might look at that as a complete failure. There's many occasions where I ended up eating a lot more than I planned on, but I didn't beat myself up whatsoever. And that's the key. The key is to really just eat in a consistent small deficit and not beat yourself up over days where you overeat. The reason why we beat ourselves up so hard on the days that we cheat and overeat is because we have a very short extreme deadline, and we expect ourselves to meet that deadline and have no problem whatsoever with the diet. But we're all human. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to overeat. We're going to have these issues. They do arise. So when they happen, you just accept it and you get back on track. That's the ideal scenario. That's how you really make a lifestyle change rather than a short-term diet where you're going to regain the body fat. So all throughout this time, I'm decreasing my calories very slightly. I'm having around 2,500 to 2,600 calories a day, but I am doing much more cardio than I was before. This is where I made the big change, all right? I didn't want my legs to be as big as they were, so I stopped training legs starting in December. I did not train legs, but I did add in at least 2 Orange Theory fitness workouts a week. There's a lot more running involved, so that adds a lot of cardio. And there was a few leg exercises I was doing, like weighted lunges and squats and stuff, but it wasn't nearly the same amount of volume that I was been used to doing the more bodybuilding training, doing a lot of heavy squats and leg press and stuff like that. So that's a huge change that we need to keep note of here. I did a lot more upper body training, and I did a lot more cardio because I was doing those Orange Theory fitness workouts 2 to 3 times a week. You'll see when April rolls around, my body weight average was down to 180 pounds. Now this is because I went to Ultra Music Festival in Miami. That's why I started the fat loss phase early. I knew I had Ultra coming up at the end of March. So I was like, I need to start losing body fat now. That's a real reason why I started losing body fat earlier on. So I went through that, and that's how I got to about 180. And at this point, I'm looking relatively lean, as you'll see in the clips here. But when I got back from that little vacation in Miami, I knew I didn't need to look lean until summertime, because when I came back, it was cold again. I live in Canada, right? So I came back, it was cold. And there was no reason for me to be so strict with my eating and cardio. So I literally use this as a relax period and even more of a diet break. And you'll see studies have shown that if you add in a 2-week diet break, you're actually going to get much better fat loss later on, and it does not really impair your results. And you're actually going to see this here. So I was even surprised to see these results and how drastic everything kind of went after my diet break. Look what you'll see. In April, I was 180 pounds on average. You'll see in May, I went up to 182 pounds. So I gained 2 pounds on average within a month. So basically I had a full month just to kind of eat whatever, not entirely whatever, but eat more and be a little more relaxed with my nutrition and my cardio and not stress about it as much. I was just kind of eating and working out and not really thinking about it. And you'll see I went up to 182, but then I kick it back into gear because I had music festivals all lined up in June, 2 music festivals in June, then I had Tomorrowland in Belgium in July, and I had another festival at the end of July, and 2 more festivals in August. So I had a stacked lineup here of music festivals going to where I wanted to look my leanest. So what I did was I just got back on track, and it felt so easy to get back into it because I didn't have that diet fatigue. Diet fatigue is known as the phenomenon where you're in a caloric deficit for so long that it's far more challenging to stay on track with your nutrition because you've been doing it for so long. And it only makes sense. So that's why we have these diet breaks. You'll see the next drop go from 182 pounds on average. The next month, 178 in June. That's where I went to some music festivals. And then in July, down to 176 pounds in July, looking far leaner. This is almost the leanest I've kind of looked in July and August ever since my last competition back in 2016. Not competing anymore. I have other priorities in my life. But that's how I was basically looking. And at that point, I was still consuming around 2,400 calories a day. But at this point now, I bumped up my Orange Theory fitness workouts to about 3 times a week. And I started tracking my steps. That was actually the biggest game changer at this point. To really go from the 180s to down to the mid 170s. Truly the biggest game changer was adding an extra cardio session and counting my steps. I have this Fitbit Versa here, and I was tracking my steps daily. What I was doing I would go for at least 1 daily walk every single day. Most days I would end up going for a walk twice in the same day, and I was averaging 20,000 steps a day. And that seems like a lot, but it did not feel like work. It didn't feel challenging. It was quite easy to actually maintain. I had 2 more festivals, and it felt quite easy to stay on track because I had a photo shoot when I got back from Belgium at the end of July. So I had a photo shoot that was coming up in 1 week at the end of July. It was going to be at the beginning of August. And then the week after that, I had a music festival. The week after that, I had another music festival. So basically, I had a milestone that I felt like I needed to look my best for every single week, starting from mid-July. So mid-July, every single week, there was some event that was coming up in 1 week where I knew I wanted to look my leanest. Having these little checkpoints along the way made it so much easier to stay focused and stay on track. That's how I went from the 178 to the 176 in July, and then now 172 in August. I am now currently the leanest I've kind of been in a long time, and I still feel great. I feel amazing because I'm not overtraining. I'm training 4 to 5 days a week, 1-hour workouts, 4 to 5 times a week. 2 to 3 of them are Orange Theory fitness workouts, and 2 to 3 of them are full body circuit style workouts like dumbbell complexes. And then I'm still going for those daily walks and getting around 15,000 to 20,000 steps a day. I'm now consuming about 2,400 calories a day on average. So again, I started off eating about 2,800 calories back in December, but doing no cardio, to now eating 2,400 calories. And I'm doing a little more cardio, but I'm also walking a lot more as well. Those 3 changes, just adding in a little more cardio, tracking my steps and going for those daily walks once or twice a day, and just slowly tapering down my intake from about 2,800 to 2,400 over a 9-month period really brought me down from 192 to 172. That is a 20-pound fat loss drop. And you'll see if you look at the footage at the beginning of the video, it doesn't look like I'm that overweight, but 20 pounds is really a big difference. And now I'm 172 pounds and I feel great. I feel amazing. I don't have crazy cravings. If I do have crazy cravings, I will have one day where I really kind of eat and get those cravings out of the way. And by the next day, I totally feel ready to go back on track and eat my whole nutritious foods, and I don't have those cravings again for a while. So it's not like I have these multiple day-long binges or even a day-long binge. It's like 1 or 2 meals that might end up being junkier. I satisfy my cravings and I'm ready to go back on track. And that's how you want it to be. That's because I didn't go too aggressive in my deficit too soon, and my leptin and ghrelin levels stayed on track. There wasn't anything out of whack because I didn't go too aggressive. This is the real way that you lose body fat and keep it off for life. Everyone just makes these 12-week, 8-week transformations and you look great, but then you gain it back after. If you truly want lasting fat loss, you'll want to take a far longer approach than you initially planned on. I've talked about this many times before. You always want to plan for more time than you think you need to lose the body fat, because we're human and we're going to have these slip-ups. And when we have these slip-ups, if we have short deadlines, we're going to make too drastic changes and we won't be able to sustain it long term. So this is truly how you lose body fat and keep it off for life. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Comment below what you'd like to see more of. Fitness videos like this, educational finance videos, or music festival vlogs. Of those three, which would you like to see the most? Comment below, and I'll see you in the next video.